Hi, everybody. Welcome to the KaiNexus Continuous Improvement Podcast. I'm Mark Graven, and we're joined today by Deondra Wardelle. You've heard here on the podcast series before when we've done 3 previous panel discussions on a theme that's very important to the both of us, calling it #Root Cause Racism. And Deondra now also has a website at www.rootcauseracism.com. So first off, Deondra, thank you for being here with us today. How are you?
I'm doing well, Mark. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to help announce the 3rd blog series, and then this will be the 4th panel discussion webinar coming up on Thursday. The webinar will be on Thursday, February 25th from 1 to 2:30 Eastern, and it's titled Root Cause Racism, The Colors of Love. So before we talk more about that and the current series, if people haven't heard about the first, kind of the origins of root cause racism and the first series that you did, maybe can you share a little bit of that with the audience?
Sure. So the origin of the #Root Cause Racism movement was developed from just what we observed going on in the world in 2020, and there was because everything that I do and I'm connected to ties to lean and continuous improvement. I thought, why can't we use these methodologies, these teachings, what we use in the workplace to address complicated issues and apply them to what's going on in our world, realizing that, we won't solve everything in a day, but what's the one small thing we all can do to make an improvement as it relates to dismantling structural racism and some of the systemic, issues that we see going on in education, healthcare, just in a number of areas. So that developed and turned into the first Root Cause Racism blog series entitled Sharing Our Visions and Voices to Root Cause Racism. And the thing about every blog series, every webinar, all of the work that we do, we always link it to, some aspect of continuous improvement and lean. So the first series was about, what we experienced, the challenges in education and healthcare and government and in the workplace. Well, let's get to the root cause. Let's apply root cause analysis tools to do a deep dive, understand how do we get here in terms of this current condition, and what countermeasures do we need to take to start improving things. Our second blog series was about going to Gemba. Mm-hmm. And it was focused on voter awareness, and it was a really great week. It was a very fast-paced week, like you already mentioned. We had 2 webinars within that week, but it was focused on, again, going to Gemba, not jumping to conclusions, understanding what was taking place in elections across the country, and really making an intelligent decision. And like I said, applying aspects of lean to voting. And so that's what the first 2 series and the first 3 webinars were about.
Yeah, and people can find those webinars. The audio is in the podcast feed here, and the videos are in the KaiNexus webinar library, which people can find at kainexus.com/webinars. That's how people can also register for the upcoming 4th webinar on February 25th, or people can also find the videos on the KaiNexus YouTube channel. And so today, here on Monday, February 22nd, it's the launch of the new blog series. Can you share that theme and tell us a little bit about how that's going to lead into the webinar?
Absolutely. So this theme is entitled The Colors of Love, Demonstrating Respect for People. And this blog has been on my heart since, I would say, fall of last year. There's at least one blog participant that I follow on social media, and some of his posts just about what Black people in the LGBTQ plus community deal with in the workplace and just in everyday activities that most people take for granted were really heartbreaking. Mm-hmm. And as a result of that, I started having more conversations with loved ones and colleagues who are either members of the LGBTQ plus community, or they have children, or a loved one, and just some of the, like I said, everyday things: traveling abroad, donating blood. In my blog that was released this morning, I talked about a colleague who was apprehensive about having pictures of her significant other in the workplace,
Right.
out of fear of judgment and some of the other things that she may experience just because of who she chooses to love. And so, with February being the month of love for Valentine's Day, February is also the month in the United States where we celebrate Black History Month. And then it also happens to be LGBTQ plus History Month in the UK. Right. So I thought, like I said, back toward the end of last year, what better time to do this series and call it The Colors of Love? And we have a dynamic group of participants that are writing blogs from all over the United States and from the UK. And if I had a favorite blog series, and of course I have the inside advantage of seeing the blogs in advance, I think this is my favorite blog series to date. Because of the stories that are being shared and how they're connected to lean and the countermeasures that are being offered. So this is a really dynamic series, and I'm looking forward to the webinar where we'll do a deeper dive into what was discussed in the blogs, and then really speak to the countermeasures and actions that people can take as a result of reading the blogs.
Yeah. Well, thank you for organizing this. And our friend, Jeff Roussel from KaiNexus, he's the Chief Revenue Officer for the company. He has an article that's going to be published this week as part of that series. And so it's great to see Jeff participating. There's a panel. You can learn more about the panelists. Again, if you go to kainexus.com/webinars and click on the registration link, Deondra is going to be moderating. The panelists are scheduled to be Alexis Bertrand, Paul Critchley, Madison L. Mobley, Carla Parker, and Jeff Welch. So I think it's going to be a really rich conversation. Doing this for 90 minutes gives us, make sure we have enough time to hear everybody's perspectives and thoughts on this challenge is I think, as you were suggesting, Deondra, there is no single simple root cause to complex problems and complex systems. But I do share your belief that we can be doing little things, everyone, every day, everywhere, to help. To me, respect for people does not just mean respecting people for the job they do, but it means respecting that whole person and letting them be their full, honest, holistic selves. And to bring that to the workplace, it's the right thing to do. And I think it's right for our organizations to allow everyone that opportunity to be comfortable and to fully participate and to fully shine and to not be discriminated against.
Right. And, and to add to that, there are a lot of organizations and companies that are focusing on the work of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and, with unconscious bias training and other types of initiatives. And I applaud that. But, one of the things that's really important that we focus on is the inclusion piece. And what inclusion means is everyone feels like they belong. Mm-hmm. And especially in a work environment, if people feel like they don't belong, or they're hindered, or are being held back, and they're limited, well, of course that stifles their creativity, that kind of stunts their ability to add to discussion and make processes better and to do their jobs. And so, although the focus of this particular blog is about Black people in the LGBTQ plus community, the themes we're talking about resonate for everyone. Everyone should feel like they belong and that they contribute, and that because they're human beings, they should be respected and treated as such, as people of value.
Yes. Well, I'm looking forward to the panel discussion on Thursday. Again, we invite you to register for that at kainexus.com/webinars, January 25th, 1 to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you can't attend live, please go ahead and register anyway, because we will send you the next day a link to the recording. Or again, if you subscribe to us on the KaiNexus YouTube channel, you'll get notified the instant that is uploaded.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was saying the instant. Yes, I wanted to snap my
Instant.
finger.
I didn't really mean to snap
Yes.
my fingers out. I hope.
No, I liked it. I liked it because I like a good finger snap. The instant, because and that's the other thing too. I want to say thank you to you and KaiNexus. From the beginning of the root cause racism movement, you know, this team has raised their hand and said, "How can we support?" And so that means a lot in the ways that KaiNexus has offered support and sponsorship of this movement. And I also want to thank and mention Karen Ross and the Love and Kindness Project. You guys have been consistent in your allyship and your support, and I just appreciate that. And I say that on behalf of the entire Root Cause Racism team.
Well, thank you. The team at KaiNexus, I know this is very important to them that we're supporting this, and we appreciate your leadership and drive to get this started and to keep it going. So our guest again has been Deondra Wardelle. You can also learn more about Deondra at her website, www.deondrawardelle.com, and we'll put links to that website and the rootcauseracism.com website and the webinar registration link. All in the show notes. So please check that out. Thanks again, Deondra. Thanks everyone for listening.
Thank you, Mark.